Next on News for the Soul, learn intuitive skills with Tina. Tina Zion is a fourth-generation intuitive medium, an internationally known expert in medical intuition and mediumship. As an award-winning author and instructor, she teaches medical intuition and mediumship skills to students around the world. And now she's here to teach you on News for the Soul. Please welcome Tina Zion back to News for the Soul.
There. Hello, everybody. This is Tina Zion, and I am so very happy to tell you that I'm going to be talking with a long-term mentoring student of mine whose name is Maribeth Decker. And Maribeth has been considered for quite some time an expert in intuition, animal communication, medical intuition, and energy healing. And for animal communication, she offers so much more than what most people do. She leads pets and to a place of emotional, behavioral, and physical healing. And based on all this experience that she's had, Maribeth has also written an Amazon bestseller, and her book is Peace in Passing, Comfort for Loving Humans During Animal Transitions. I like that. And her book provides a roadmap to help guardians just navigate this difficult leg of their animal's life. So right now, Maribeth she estimates over 1,500 sessions with people and their animals. And she has clients from Australia, Canada, the Czech Republic, and England. Where else? French West Indies, Scotland, Switzerland, Thailand, and of course all over the U.S. Now her background is she has a master's in organizational development from the Naval Postgraduate School. So she's been in the Navy for quite some time. She has a master's in general administration, and she has a bachelor's in pre-med in psychology from the University of Buffalo. And she has trained with me, I'm not really sure how long, but she's been mentoring with me for quite some time and is applying medical intuition to her work in animal healing and animal communication. So, Maribeth, I hope you're there. Are you there for us?
I am.
Hello.
Glad to be here. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for doing this for me. Thank you very, very much. I love to do this. And so let's get started because I really want to hear what you have to say and for our listeners to hear. And so, first of all, what on earth do you think is the most important for the listeners to know about animal communication?
So I love that question. I like starting there. Animal communication for me is a mind-to-mind connection. It's telepathy. And I have to say, when I started this, people were asking me, or they thought that I was reading body language. You know, a lot of people do that. It makes a lot of sense. Or I was hypnotizing animals. Like, got no background in that. So I just want to put those because they make me laugh still. Not me. And but it is a mind to mind. It's telepathic, and so for me, you find out that animals do have minds. I hope everybody already knew that. They are already intuitive. They are reading energy. They are receiving it, and they are interpreting it. And what we do in animal communication, at least what I do, is make a connection and ask for information and also share information for them. So I feel that I'm maybe a translator for people, to find out what their animals are thinking, or to share with the animals some things that might be important for them to know about what's happening in their life. And the other part that I'd like to say about animal communication is that it's a form of telepathy, and so if anybody's has listened to any psychics, they know that we are already wired intuitively, and so this is and this is an aspect of telepathy. And I guess the other thing I want to say is it's not just conversations. People know this, but I've got to say it. It can be memories. So seeing things in our mind's eye, or we hear something. Also feeling things in our bodies, experiencing emotions. Anxiety comes to mind because I understand that emotion. So you can feel it in your body, but also feeling physical things and getting things symbolically, because I do a lot of dream work. So I get things in symbolic ways, and then I share what I got, and we see where it takes the human I'm telling.
So it sounds like you are using a lot of, like you said, telepathy, which is really thought, energy bouncing back and forth between beings, between humans and other beings. And it sounds like clairvoyance, of you seeing in your mind's eye so many things.
Absolutely.
Is that okay? That's true? Mm-hmm.
That is true. It feels to me, the way it feels like is that in our physical being, the brain picks up physical sensations. They hear, brain sees, the brain knows, the mind knows, and all those things that we can discover in the physical world, we can discover in the energetic world with these communications. I'm preaching to the choir here, but but I like to say it,
Yeah. Well, one of the things I'm wondering is, what do most of your human clients, that have their animals, what do most of them really ask you for help with? What are they asking you for, I guess, is what I'm saying.
That, for me, that's like a two-pronged question. That's because I really thought about it. The first part is they're asking for helping them have a better relationship with their animal, because for many of us, I don't know, but for many of us, if this is true, things have shifted about relationship with us and other species. My joke these days is my husband's grandfather kept his beagles in the backyard. So today I wake up with generally 2 dogs and 2 cats in the bed. It's a different life, There's a love relationship that is there. So people want to make sure they're doing well for their animals and that they're also enjoying the time. Then you get into the practical side, and so when there are behaviors that are upsetting, I help with that. Fear, aggression is an example. Very basic things like using the litter box, going to the bathroom outside the house if you're a dog, and so how animals are feeling. Is the medication working? Where's the pain? Well, what's the cause? And even as they age, how much joy they're still having in life. And actually, if they have some opinions on certain medical procedures that might be done, are they all in for it? So, I want to stick around this, I'll go through this. Or are they like, I just want to cozy up to you guys?
That's a beautiful description. Well, one of the things I've always wondered is because I think you don't need to be physically with the animal when you work with them. I'm pretty sure. So you can address that. But I've always wondered, how does an animal react when you intuitively or telepathically reach out to them? What do they do? How do they react?
With animals who are in the family, it's generally a very easy connection. I feel, and you're right. It is in person is a lot less, especially after COVID. But we all got used to virtual connections, and for me, they work. But it is, what do we say it? There is like a sense of, oh, I hear you, human. It's like, I'm used to this. Kind of different. But my human connects with me. I feel it. I feel you. And so I usually introduce myself beforehand. It's funny, the wild animals, they're like surprised generally. It's like if you were outside walking, we have tons of squirrels in our neighborhood, and a squirrel, you just started having a conversation with a squirrel, you'd say, "What? Did that squirrel just say something to me?" I think they have the same reaction with humans. It's like, did that human just try to talk to me, brain to brain? And there's a surprise there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that surprise is also with dogs and cats and parrots that people have in their homes. Is it the same kind of surprise as a squirrel?
No. Generally, they're like, okay, yep, it's you're human, and they're just comfortable with connecting. There's been a few that are like, I'm not doing this with you, and then they change their mind. I've had one who, in my mind's eye, it was a dog. He looked like if a dog could cross his hands over his chest, his arms over his chest, and turn away from you.
Yeah,
he was that, and he says, I'm not talking. And I said, well, I got a little time. Let me know if you change your mind. And he finally turned around and said, okay, what do you want?
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah,
I love
kind of
that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a lot easier with those who live with us or have a relationship with other humans. That's the way to say it, in my estimation.
Well, one of the things I think the listeners would want to know is what tends to be the major belief that hinders humans with their animals. Is there something that you've seen over the years that humans struggle with as they, live and be with their animals?
Yeah,
some belief.
I think so. I think most of us, probably a lot of us, are brought up with the fact that the animal kingdom, there's a hierarchy, and we humans are at the top, and so we look at other species with less. We see them as dumb, or some version of that, and I think we miss a lot in that. And I am so happy. There's so many scientific discoveries, and some of them are done very respectfully to animals, where they're finding out that, oh yeah, there is a part of the brain that lights up when they see or they smell something that they're from their person, that in our brain would be designated love. Like, oh, okay, now we got a little proof here. Or there's a lot more coming out that says there's a lot of intelligence even in fish. We have so I think it shuts people off, like grief, the level of grief that animals can have, and the level of thinking ability and solving problems, and also maybe we all think that that our way is the best, and somebody that doesn't do it our way doesn't know what they're doing. But it's just a species difference, if I can say it that way.
Sure. Huh.
So, and one other thing, if I may,
go ahead,
because this made me just, I felt like I was going to fall over. We were practicing connecting with some apes, and they were in the family setting, and I was connecting with the father of the family. I'm going to say it like it's the father, the mother. There was a little baby kid that would be kind of grade school age if it was human, and a teenager. And I picked up that the father was so mad at the mother because they were having differences over how to discipline the teenager who was acting quite disrespectful to the parents. And what they kind of said that there were some problems with both of them. And later I heard that they had to move the father out to a new family. And it was, if you did it in human terms, you'd say that they got a divorce.
So you're talking about animals. Family. You're not talking about people. Oh, okay.
I am not talking about people. I'm talking about.
I'm
talking about one of the smaller smaller apes. I'm having this connection with them, practicing, and I'm going. That's exactly not the divorce stuff, but I can relate to the husband and wife disagreeing about how to deal with the teenage daughter.
So you're saying apes as a type of monkey?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So a family of apes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
sorry I wasn't clear. I apologize.
No, that's
I was
okay.
just shocked.
This is well, I'm kind of shocked too. Wow. That is amazing. Well, and were you working with this family of apes? Were you working with them, or
we
you
were
were just
practicing?
picking?
I was in a class with a great animal communicator on the West Coast, and she brought us all to the sanctuary where we could practice with them and get feedback from the person that was taking care of them, and so it really blew my own mind about what other species are capable of.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I was wondering about is because you have been studying medical intuition with me for quite some time. I don't even know how long, but how are you seeing or how are you fitting medical intuition into your private practice with animals? Because you're taking this beyond communication.
I am. You've taught me to ask the question of what's the origin of this, and that for me is like the key start to find out where do we go for the healing. So it used to be, honestly, it used to be like you talk to somebody about their anxiety. I have I've adopted a lot of animals who come in with anxiety and worked with them. And you can say, what's the origin of it? And you go back. I get taken back with my guides. Thank you very much for helping me get a team. And we find out where it is. And so, or if there's physical stuff, what's the origin? And it might be, I might feel something in their energy field and in their body. I might feel attachments from people or other beings. I might feel something that happened earlier in their life, or it might even be a past life experience. And that is, and then you take, there are so many ways to help them work through this. And I also enlist their person in there. So the person has agreed to, like, say the commands of clearing, help letting the guides do the clearing for them. So I think that is very powerful because they have such a loving relationship. And once I bring them on board and we're giving the directions together, beautiful things happen. Animals start to shift behaviors that have been they've been stuck in for such a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that Maribeth and I have for all the listeners is Maribeth met with Nicole Whitney, who is actually the founder of this radio show, News for the Soul. And they work together, and with Nicole's, I think, her dog, I think.
Yeah, with her dog, Eddie.
Yeah. And so if it's okay with you right now, Maribeth, if the producers can run that clip now, we would really like for the listeners to hear an actual, it's going to be about 20 minutes, I think, an actual recording of a session that Maribeth had with Nicole and her dog. So if can the producers run that clip now, please?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, good.
Nicole, what I'd like to do is to figure out what's most important for you. Like, there's a lot of things we can do with this.
He's got an infection in his mouth. He's got an abscess. Like, they were feeding him bowls of Skittles. They thought it was dog food. They were feeding him bowls of candy. Like, I don't know how he's still alive. So he's got a horrific infection in his mouth, and I'm going to have to get dental work and, all of that stuff. So that's the main health concern. And anything that relates to that's going to affect, right? Systemic.
Yeah, and I want to throw in also that he clearly knows that you are it. Yeah. You are his forever home. Because that grounds him into, like, what he's doing now, that's the way the rest of his life's going to be.
Yeah.
And then let's do the abscess, and I'll see what we can do on that. But I really, if it's all right with you, I really want to let him know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been telling him, and I think he does know, but after reading that...
He sure does, but I don't want to skip that because it's so important.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to close my eyes and just connect with him, Eddie. And I'm seeing, I always see sunrises. Other people go when it gets dark, but I like the sunrise. So you wake up and there she is. And there's real food, which you'll certainly grow to love.
Well, he already does.
Good dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's really clear to him that you are home.
Yep.
Not this is his home, but you are home for him. And that's how he's bringing it to me.
From day one, we were instantly soul connected, deeply.
Yeah, look at that. Look, his little eyes just close a little bit. Mm-hmm. All righty. So I'm going to get in there and see what I can find out about the mouth, the abscess in his mouth. Not just the physical, but also the energy around him from whatever he's bringing with him from where he was before. People who would feed him Skittles instead of food. Is that what I heard?
Well, there was the original owner who broke his tail, and then there was the dementia couple who were feeding him Skittles. They thought it was dog food, supposedly, so they were just out to lunch. I'm
going to just go around his energy, his body and energy, and see what I pick up. I'm making it's not going to be just his mouth, but what else is going on? What else has he picked up from this really crazy little life that he's in? He's hanging in there. It's like, I'll get to her eventually. Meaning you. So I'm just gonna keep going because I'm gonna get to her eventually. All right, guys, can you tell me or show me now what else is going on in and around your body? I want to look at the energy too. So I'm inviting my sacred divine medical intuitive guides to show me what kind of energy healing, what energy is stuck to him and needs to be cleared, all that sort of thing. So here we go. Nicole, I picked up both physical symptoms and some energy around it. Okay. So I asked first about, we understand the abscess, eating Skittles, but I asked for more information energetically about how that might come across from him emotionally. And what I got was he has a sense that nobody listens to me. I think he had enough sense about how to take care of himself and what he needed, and nobody was listening. He had more sense than the friggin' humans. Yeah, exactly. It's funny because he can tell that I can hear him and that I'm constantly listening, so he gives me these funny looks like, wow, you're really there. First time. Yeah. First time. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and he even felt like part of that stuff about the abscess is also just like, trying to steal you to try. And it's manifesting this way. And of course there's the physical thing, but there's also the emotional. I'm glad you get it. I do. And I don't believe that this was real, because I don't think he could have survived, but it feels like almost a steel cage holding him, and that feels more symbolic. So it could have been a steel cage, smaller than, even for this little guy, it wasn't where you would liken to have something like, I don't know, enough to run around, sleep, and there didn't feel like any of that stuff was going on. So I also felt the heart feels heartbroken. So like it's broken in little pieces, a lot like little Skittles. Like I think we all come into this world, no matter what we are, hoping for love and fun and joy, and this was not happening for him. So there's the heart's been hurt, and there's tightness around it as well. It's like even the ability to breathe deeply, it's like the feeling of hasn't been a part of his life at all. No. And there's not a lot of good news here, which I'm sure you're not surprised about. No. There also feels like if he was standing up, there's pressure down, and I'm going to have to ask where that comes from. But like somebody pushing down on him. Mm. And again, oh my goodness, this could be actually, people holding him down, or I don't know for whatever reason, but it felt like being pushed down a lot. Just held it there when he was touched. So touch was not an enjoyable thing for the guy either. It's funny because they said he'd be standoffish and not eat and not let people touch his head. But that's, as soon as he was here, he knew, like, we saved each other literally. And it's powerful. Yeah. So getting this kind of touch. We can't get enough of it now. Right? He's like, I so waited for this. Yeah. And you might watch, there's a little bit of, so I'm talking about the back right leg, the kneecap. There's like pins and needles there. So I would say that this is a guy probably that needs he may have been running after cars, but there may be some things about helping his muscles. He may need some adjustments or something back there. So I'm going to go deeper, but first I want to ask if you've got any thoughts or questions. My main immediate urgent concerns are like, does he need antibiotics right away? I didn't want to race him into a vet first thing, let him get settled. And that's my most urgent thing is systemic infection and long-term effects from this. I want him around a long time. We're already bonded, and I thought, oh, God, I won't live through that again. So you're staying with me. Okay, that's a good question to start with. Let me ask. Oh, okay. So I would say that give him a little more time to get strong with the food and the water and all the care. First I heard no, and I'm like, no? come on, you know how mouth infections, but maybe a couple days or so where his body is able to work with the antibiotic rather than finding it too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
That was my sense too.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Yeah, because it was clear to me that there was going to be more stuff going on. So good. Yeah. All right. So we'll give him a few more days of good food and love, and so I'm going to go on and ask for the cause, the origin of this, and how best to release him from all that crap.
Okay.
Okay. Eddie, would you you've been really good. So open up and let my guides and me in to check on how we best help you feel even better than you feel right now. So he is resilient. I thought there might be cords from previous experiences, but what I'm getting is that once we release and remove the steel and the pressure on his back, and the energy around his mouth, he doesn't have the cords. He's the first guy I've met. He's like, oh, take that away, it'll all go. It will all go. I'm not holding on to that. I've lived that life. I've done. Let's make it happen.
It felt like as soon as we got here, he was very with the program in the now,
Oh, good. Thank you for the confirmation, because usually, there's something to his past, but he's like, no, just get rid of this stuff.
He's a very special guy.
He is. Yes, you are. Okay. Is there I'm going to ask anything about the pressure on his back, the pushing down. He says, no, that will take care of it. So what I've done is I've adopted Tina's method a little bit to do the healing for animals, which means that, and I really like doing this, is that I will ask you to be in charge of his healing, to direct the guides, the sacred divine master healers, to do this all through obeying the prompts, the directives that I give you. So you don't have to make them up. I'll give you the words.
Okay, good.
Okay, and then we'll just imagine that we're watching them do the job, so we don't have to get involved with it, and he can just hang out like he is and just say, yeah. Make sure you get the nails too. All
right. Good.
Okay. So the first question I ask is, how many healers are going to come and help today and do the work today? And whatever number pops up first, go with that.
With me?
Yeah. Would you just ask?
11.
11. Lovely number. Okay. So we got like a master healer, and then we've got all the 11 around, and you can even imagine, here they are. And they're like, yay, we love this guy. We really want to do this for him. Thank you for inviting us in. All right, so they're all standing by. So first off is we're going to actually tell them to clear out all the crap. I'm thinking that's like a technical term for bad energy. It works, right? So let me get my words together. And I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 words, and you say them after me.
Okay.
All right?
Ready.
Completely and permanently.
Completely and permanently.
Extract and remove.
Extract and remove.
All the negative energy.
All the negative energy.
That is pushing on Eddie's back.
That is pushing on Eddie's back.
That is tying up his mouth.
That is tying up his mouth.
That is making his heart feel like it's broken.
It's making his heart feel like it's broken.
And the steel cage that surrounds him.
And the steel cage that surrounds him.
Extract and remove all that energy now.
Extract and remove all that energy now.
Now, as you just sit and imagine you're watching them doing that, or however you receive information, just know that it's happening. I'm going to give them one more set of guidance. So as you extract and remove this energy, I want you to put this energy in a huge container of love. I think it's going to be like a semi-trailer big of love, so that it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm telling them to do that. Do this now. Do not let any of this energy stick around or float off. So put it in the big container of love now. So they're removing it and putting it in the container. And Nicole, no pressure. Whenever you get the sense that they have completed that and removed the energy and put it in, let me know. Take your time.
I can feel it happening. I'm getting chills and heat, and I get very clear waves of energy, of chills going down my arms when energy is being released. So
yes.
That's went on. I think it's just about done.
Okay. Let me know when you feel it's complete.
It feels done now.
Okay. I'm giving you the next command to say.
Okay.
All right. Take this container.
Take this container.
To the love center.
To the love center.
In the sky.
In the sky.
To be transformed into love and light.
To be transformed into love and light.
Now.
Now.
And imagine just how you experience it. Let me know when it's been transformed.
Sort of look like beaming up off the Star Trek.
I love it.
It's done now.
Okay. And now, one more, and then a final one. Let me get my words together again. Replace that negative energy.
Replace that negative energy.
In his body.
In his body.
And around his body.
And around his body.
With the most loving.
With the most loving.
Divine. Joyful energy.
Joyful energy.
Now.
Now.
I got a couple more words that just came to mind. Bring him.
Bring him.
Health and vitality.
Health and vitality.
Now.
Now.
And then, however you experience it, those 11 are bringing in and filling him up with the best energy. Eddie, you're doing great. Thank you. Oh, my goodness, I felt that. Yeah. Yeah, just let it all in. Thank you, Eddie. It feels better, doesn't it?
It's pretty chill.
Holy cow. Nicole, whenever you think they've completed their job, just let me know.
It feels like it's just completing just now.
Okay. One more. This is like my favorite from Tina. So, and then we'll do a little more stuff for him. But permanently, powerfully, completely, maintain the positive.
Maintain the positive.
Changes in Eddie's life.
Changes in Eddie's life.
Body. And soul forever.
Soul forever.
Okay, Eddie, does that work for you?
Completely zoned.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, yes, enjoying that.
Boy, that was good, huh? So, Nicole, is there anything you wanted to share about the experience? I always like to hear how it happened for you.
As you may have noticed, I'm fairly tuned in. I bond very deeply with my soul mates and stuff, so I can feel when they feel and they're thinking. But the affirmation, the confirmation for me is this physical waves and the chills and sweats that I have right now. That means the energy is radiating off, right? So it's literally a physical energy. So that's powerful.
That's so good. And this is a time that he's so chill, but he still needs to hear this. I'd love for you to say it in this energy. There's 11 guys, the workers, whatever they're okay with being workers. Good. They're still around. Tell him again how good his life is now. All the things that he can expect and who he can be, and how much you love him. Yeah. I know you've said it to me before, but
I've been dreaming since we got here that he's home forever. We've found each other. It's a miracle. Thank God. And we saved each other. And we're going to have so many adventures and going walks. He loves car rides. I was even thinking, because he tracks when he walks. He looks up at me and walks right by my side. So he'd be natural at agility. But not only that, I want to Google, like today, I was planning on Googling how to teach your dog to dance with you, because he could be in my show. Definitely get him a vest and a fez, and off we go. So we got.
Oh, I want to see that. Really want to see that.
Yeah, he's a natural. Like, he's so tuned in with me right away that he's tracking and stuff. Like, I've never seen. And he even, my other chihuahuas, they never played. He plays with me, and we had Squeaky that day yesterday, and now oh God, it's over the top. Yeah, so we're just discovering the beginning of a great adventure. I'm affirming that with him verbally and energetically every minute.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're doing it. He's in such a good place with this energy.
It was like the literally perfect spot for him to go. But again, it was more than, I literally, every time I found my pet or my dog, it's been like I'm looking for a signature, an energy signature. And as soon as my student sent this random Craigslist ad to me, an hour after they posted it, I emailed them an hour later, and an hour later he was my dog. But because I recognized the signature, it was like, I can't even describe how it felt. It was just huge.
Oh, I love it. And he knows it too. It's just so clear.
Like, he got in the car with me and he saw his dad go onto a different car, right? He's like, oh, yeah. Dad, you're forgetting me? What's going on? He was having a moment. And in that moment, we were both feeling the same pain. And he looked at me and he got on my lap and stayed there for all the way home. That was it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. It's been great.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Same here.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye for now.
Well, Maribeth, you and I have worked together for quite a while, but this is the first time that I've actually, saw you. I didn't see you, but heard you in action, and that was beautiful. And I hope all the listeners really heard that too. And since you just did that and we all listened to it, tell everybody what you would like to point out that just happened in this very loving, very gentle moment that you and Nicole and her dog had. What do you want to point out to the listeners? What seemed important to you?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I just enjoyed being in that lovely energy again. What comes to me first, Tina, is we have the permission of the animal, the other soul. We're not doing it to them. There's a lot of things that our beloved animals get done to them. They go to the vet whether they want to or not. And that's one big example where it's like, well, I'd rather not, but there we go. And so they have free choice as well. And when we allow them free choice, I've never heard anybody say no, truthfully, but we involve them, include them in it. It's so much more powerful that they're a partner with their own healing. We're not doing it to them. So it's bringing them to a level of soul to soul healing rather than working on a body. So what else to mind here? I hope you noticed that what I focused on, which which came across this way was more the energetic and the emotional aspects of what was holding Eddie back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I wasn't going in, and I still call that medical intuition because we're saying, what's the cause?
Yes, yeah.
Of what's going on. And then you go, and whatever shows up, I trust it now. Like, I see a metal cage. That's somebody who's being, for me, held back, not allowed to be his full self, and the broken heart. And then it's true in a way, as much a way as the physical symptoms that we come up with in medical intuition, and maybe even more true because it's the deeper cause. And that's where we go for the healing. And then that, I believe that release of that energy and the bringing in of the new energy allows for whatever healing place. And I hope that's what you were looking for, Tina. But that's what came through for me.
Yes. No, that's beautiful. All throughout this whole thing, and even what you're saying right now, I keep getting different waves of goosebumps. So it was very, very touching. Well, we still have a little bit more time. I know that your book is called Peace in Passing, and that you're really known for helping people and the animals in the animals' death transition. Is there anything that you feel is important for the listeners to know? Is there anything that you want to mention about that to help us understand that?
Yeah, I would love to share some things that I've realized about our animals transitioning out of their physical bodies. The reason I'm so dedicated to this is when I became an animal communicator. It's not completely accurate. I became an animal communicator when my dog started connecting with me without me even expecting. It was not on my to-do list or bucket list. And the first two dogs, right? It's like, what the heck? They had passed, and they were, and maybe I need to say, this is where I need to say it. My dog Timmy showed up. He had passed quite a number of years ago, but something about learning energy healing opened up this ability. He was, it was as if he was sitting in the dining room. So what I want people to hear is they survived the death of their physical bodies. Their personalities are still there on the other side, just as our human loved ones are. I've experienced it with my own. Also, my dog Eddie came to me to comfort me when I had to go to an annual meeting and be all smiley, and I just had lost her, and she stayed with me on the plane and stayed with me the night before to comfort me so I could get out there and do what I needed to do. And again, they're there fully on the whatever plane or the other side. So know that we didn't lose them. They lost their physical bodies, but they are still there. The other thing that I just want to stop for a second and say, yes, the connection survives death. It survives our grief because it's love, and love never dies.
You mentioned something about connecting from the heart with animals. Is that what you mean, or do you mean something else?
I do. Well, the way I think about it is that when we think of telepathy, we accurately think of it being a mind-to-mind connection. I also think that we can take advantage of the heart-to-heart connection, which we already have going with them. And I even had for me, it's the download of the energetic green smoothie where we see a green light coming out from our heart chakra, our energy center in the chest, to their heart-to-heart connection, doing that or imagining that happening between us, and that even expands our connection to them, to connecting intuitively. There's so much energy. The heart has also its own intelligence, and the energy of love just opens us up to our animals even more. And so, and I do think that heart-to-heart connection, or that energy, that's what survives for us and for them when they pass.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is just exceptionally beautiful, and I have loved this time together with you, and I loved hearing your interaction, with Nicole. Now, how will people get a hold of you, and how will they get a hold of your book if they're interested in Peace in Passing?
The best way to get a hold of me is to visit my website, and they can go to, it is sacredgrove.com, SACREDGROVE.com. And there's also Maribeth, Maribeth. I got to spell it. Thank you, Mom. That's how she spelled it, at sacredgrove.com. Those are two best ways to connect with me. And you'll find that there's a page for my book. If you wanted to go on the website, you can find my book. And
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so very, very much. And let me close here with telling everybody that I'm here on the first Monday of every month, and so September's coming up. I'll be there on the first Monday of September. And what I thought I would talk about next time is, and I'm glad you brought this up, Maribeth, about having guides and how to really communicate. So I'm going to talk about guides, and to make sure that we're working with the highest level of guide, make sure that we know that we need to communicate more with them than what most people do. So that'll be my topic next time. So thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thank you, Nicole and Maribeth. Thank you so much.
So glad to do this. Thanks for the opportunity, Tina.
You're so welcome. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Hear all of our previously aired broadcasts of News for the Soul online at newsforthesoul.com. Now let's get back to the show.